Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships, or also as known as M3 TV News, the stream that gives you the best news. This is your boy M3, and I'm doing something special tonight. So I'm having a live interview with yours truly, First Lady Tammy. We'll give her a round of applause, everyone. All right. And so, the reason why we're doing this is because, I figured hey, the people that contribute the most to our show, I feel like they deserve to be interviewed. That way you can get just to get to know them a little bit more. Well, anyways, though, good evening to you, First Lady Tammy, and how you doing? How's life treating you?
I'm doing pretty good actually. This is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to the interview. So
Oh,
yeah, life is good. Life is good. I can't complain. So
okay, that's good. All right, Tammy. Let me ask you this. Is this your first time ever getting interviewed by anyone?
yeah, yeah, I've never done an interview before, so this will be interesting. So
Oh,
I'm looking forward to hearing the questions.
okay, okay. Well, look. Before I, give a brief introduction, how you feeling at the moment, just by being interviewed?
I'm all
You
right.
feel
I'm ready to go. I'm excited. So yeah.
okay? All right, that's what's up. All right, so chat, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. So to give you a background about First Lady Tammy, she is a close friend to ours, outside of this panel. Uh, and how she joined as a guest, but later became a member of our team was the credit of none other than DJ Eddie King. Tammy has contributed so much to our stream currently and is currently providing deep, insightful questions for the panel. But tonight, I told her hey, take the day off. This is all about you. And so I shall begin with the questions. But before then, I also want to introduce to Mr. Hall of Fame, which his mic is muted. But yeah, shout outs to the Hall of Fame. So, Tammy, so before I begin, let me go ahead and get these questions ready so I could post it on the comments. And here we go. And then also, I think I'm gonna go down real quick. Hall Sam says "What's good?" He said at the moment he could only text. All right, that's okay. All right, so let's go start with the first question. All right, Tammy, let's see. Tell us a little bit of who you are, what you do personally, and no, and what do you personally do, if you don't mind to share, about your hobbies, etc. Just get a chat a little bit more about
Okay.
yourself.
So I a little bit about me. So I was born in England. So I came here when I was 8 years old.
Hmm.
And I have a British accent whenever I want to pull it out. So
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah. So I've gone back a couple times to go visit family, and I will talk in my British accent when I'm over there. So I think when you go back somewhere, like you kind of fall into certain things that you used to do. Um, but yeah, so I mean, like I said, I came when I was 8. I've always lived in Sacramento. So I live in Sacramento. I don't actually live, in the Bay Area. I don't go to the Bay Area that much. So I like to travel, but I like to travel, extreme distances, if that makes sense. So um, as far as my hobbies, I play video games. So I have a PS4. So I don't play
Okay.
Call of Duty or, Madden or NBA 2K. I play adventure type games. So I do like
Hmm.
God of War, Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, those type of games. And I will sit on a game for hours. So there's been times when I've been up till 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning playing a game. But I like to do puzzles. I like to draw. Um, I know I'm fluent in sign language. So sometimes I teach sign language online if people
Oh, okay.
request me to do it. Yeah. So even like when the COVID thing happened and everything was shut down, I was teaching some people online sign language. So, but yeah, and people that come to the stream, as far as that tune in and comment and stuff, know that I'm a teacher. So teaching is my life. That's my everything. So, and I'm a single parent. So yeah.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna give you the wild sound effect as far as like like the sign language because I didn't know that part about you. You know, I know like you could speak with like a different British accent that I don't think that was I don't think we ever heard that accent before. But I don't know if you can like one time for the chat, feel free to.
No,
Don't be shy though.
no, no.
All right. Well, the day that you do that, I'm gonna definitely give you like the little horn.
Okay.
All right. But
Okay.
that's good though. Like, all right. I'm always like learning something new from you guys. So, but fun fact, like when I was in elementary school, I used to like learn like sign language, and I used to be fluent, not anymore.
Okay.
So, but I'm currently trying to practice like on Spanish. I'm not even I'm nowhere near fluent with that, but
Yeah.
it's always good to try like learn a different
Yeah.
language.
Well, when I was
So
in high school,
mhm.
I took Spanish and French. I took
Okay.
4 years of Spanish and no, 3 years of Spanish and two years of French.
Hmm.
And so Spanish, because I know people that speak Spanish, it's a lot easier for me to understand it than it is to. I mean, I can speak some to hold a basic conversation, but if somebody came to me who I didn't really know and they were trying to talk, I probably wouldn't really understand as much. But
Hmm.
as far as French, I mean, I barely know everything that I remember from French. So
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. I know. My wife, she's kind of fluent with both French and Spanish. She
nice,
studied French and then Spanish. She's just kind of learning from picking up from a lot of Latins around her. So
nice.
okay. All right. Well, look, let's get to like the number two question then. Where is that? Oops. I think I actually posted that again in the private chat, but let me go ahead and post it to
I'm
public.
not reading the private chat, so so
Yeah, you can later. Yeah. All right. So number two. And thank you for not cheating too, by the way. So number two is, do you remember when was your first debut to our live stream and topic?
so I don't remember the topic. Um, I don't remember what the topic was. That's so crazy. I remember when I came on, I wasn't expecting to continue to keep coming on. So when I
Mm-hmm.
originally came on, it was more of like just to kind of see what it was like and to see what you guys did. So
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to continue to keep coming on, but I liked it. So and I like to talk and I like to be able to give my opinion. I like to hear other people's opinions. So kept coming back and kept coming back and still coming back. Um, yeah, I can't remember what the topic. Oh, I do remember what the topic was.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the topic was about it was about Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, and about him like just giving her control. I think
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that's what the topic was. It was about that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and I found that to be an interesting topic because it's nice to hear different perspectives and how people think about what they say and why they feel the way they do. And
Yeah.
when you join a stream, even if you're a guest, or if you're somebody who's always there, you have to be open to different perspectives.
Right.
So,
Right.
and that's something that a lot of people have to work on because a lot of people are not open to hear what other people have to say. So that's the thing is that if you come on a stream, know that there's going to be people that you don't agree with. There's going to be people that have their different opinions than you do, and you have to be okay knowing that not everybody's going to share the same opinion that you do. So,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. I was thinking like it probably was like the first topic when we talked about Dr. Umar Johnson. But if that's the Gabrielle Union one, then
yeah,
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I could definitely see that, and that was also like a good topic as well.
Yeah.
Um, well, first, I want to shout outs to Casey's Tush.
Hey,
So, good evening, Casey. How are you? And she also says facts. Now, whenever you see like, unfortunately, that right there where you see like where it says elbow cough, that is really supposed to be like the little, the little dab.
oh, is
But
it?
yeah, but
Oh,
the
that's
way
interesting.
it just, but unfortunately, the format of the StreamYard doesn't show like some of the icons like that. So don't worry,
Interesting.
she's not coughing on her elbows like, hey girl, you know,
That's interesting.
she's like, hey, bam, dab, right?
Okay, nice. Nice.
Yeah, and but yeah, like yeah, that was definitely like an interesting
Hmm.
topic,
Yeah.
and which that does lead me to my my number three question, because for number three, um, well, let's see, when you received like your invitation by DJ Eddie King to first like join the live stream, what expectations did you had in mind for the stream?
um, yeah, I don't think I had any expectations because I didn't really know what to expect. Like, I mean, I had talked to him before and he had told me about the stream and what you guys talked about and things like that. But I didn't really have any expectations. I mean, I thought it was going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be interesting. I didn't know what the topic was beforehand, so I was coming in just completely open as far as hearing whatever the topic was going to be. Um, but I mean, I didn't really have any expectations. I think you kind of you can have expectations, but you have to be open to your expectations not being met. So, I mean, you can expect for everybody to, agree and everything to go great, but when it comes to something that's alive, it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like anything can happen. So, when it's live, you can't just stop it and edit it. Like it's right there, everybody sees it as it's happening. So, you can't. I feel like you can't really have any expectations because what live is not where you can change anything. It is what it is. People see it when it's going on, and there's nothing you can do really different
Mm-hmm.
in the moment. So yeah, so I didn't necessarily have any expectations in mind as far as the stream. I just wanted to have a good time and be open to hearing what everybody else had to say. I mean, I appreciated his invitation because I think he had invited me before.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't the first time he had invited me. But when he did, when I came on, it was like
Hmm.
I can't remember how many times he had invited me before, but when I did, I just, I wanted to see what it was all about, and I liked it. I mean, obviously, I like it if I'm still, still here. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up, and I appreciate it. Um, 'Cause yeah, I remember like there was like a few times that I remember DJ was like, "Yo, I'm gonna keep trying, man. I'm gonna keep trying to reach out to Tammy, man. Like like I'm telling you, like she is going to be good on the show, right?" And at the time, I wasn't even thinking about taking this like very seriously. It was just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna give it a shot, casually stream, and that's about it. Whoever comes,
Yeah.
they just come. And I just had that mindset, like, okay, everybody's gonna come like as a guest, and then that was about it. And I remember, us having that conversation because prior to that, I noticed that like you started coming in like more regularly, and I was like, well, shoot, like, she's coming in more regular.
Mhm.
She has like, powerful like insight. It's not like she's just coming in and then just sitting and not saying much.
Mhm.
She's actually like contributing. And so I already had in the mind, I was like, well, shoot, if she ever want to join the panel, I'm just gonna ask her. But then like you already kind of got to me before I got to you. So I was like, well, bada bang, bada boom,
Yeah.
like it was
Well,
already set.
well, because I mean, so there's times when I'm the only woman on here, and then there's times when there's other women that get on there. So it's
Mhm.
nice if there isn't any other women and I'm the only one. It's nice because there's a woman's perspective about
Mhm.
certain things because men and women think about things differently.
Yeah.
So so it's nice to always get the other side. rather than it always being the men or always being the women. So
Yeah. And that's what I kind of like. I kind of like that type of balance because I'm not trying to make this like an all men's like type of show where you just only have the opinions like of like us guys, and you don't really have like the opinion from like the other side from the women. Which that's why we're trying to work on like try to balance things more out. But I mean, regardless, like I feel like you're pretty much like the balance already itself. And Quentin says, Grizzly Bear Production says, "Yo, Tammy, what it do?" It's like, this is Grizzly Bear Production Studios. Shout outs to Grizzly Bear, man. He's definitely like a good friend of ours as well too.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, don't forget, guys. Please, by all means, get the likes up. Um, I'm not gonna, go hard on you guys like Dr. Umar Johnson and start chanting like, "Get the likes up, y'all! Get the likes up! Get the goddamn likes up!" All right. But if you guys feel free to, please do. And share the videos, and if you're new, subscribe to the YouTube channel. So, man, I feel like shoot, we might want to run through these questions real quick. So hopefully not too quick.
Well, hey, as long as all the questions get answered, that's all that matters.
I guess so, right? I mean, eventually we want to have people come in with the questions. And hold on, Chris says, "What's the questions for tonight?" Well, you will see the questions right when I post them, Chris. But tonight is basically just to let you know, is all about the live interview with First Lady Tammy. So whatever questions that you guys have in the chat, feel free to like type in the chat, and then I'll have Tammy answer it for you guys. All right. So number 4, Tammy. Okay, what inspired your desires to be a member of our team?
Well, as I said before, like I felt like there needs to be a female perspective. I mean, it's nice when you have guys' perspectives about things, but sometimes, you need to have a female there because females look at things in a different way. And females can give you a different type of perspective that maybe guys didn't think of. I mean, just in general, when you have a new person come on, they're going to give you a different way to look at something. And everybody looks at things, and not everybody looks at things in the same way. So it's nice to get, a female perspective about things. It might make you think about something in a way that you actually didn't. So yeah, so I just felt like, maybe it was nice to have that. And like I said, when other women get on the stream, I mean, it's nice because I like when I'm the only one there, but I also like when I'm not the only female there, because then it's even more female perspectives and even more female voices that you guys get to hear from. So yeah, so what drove it is just wanting there to be a constant female perspective along with all the different, because there's a lot of times there's a lot more male than female. So it's nice to, like you said a minute ago, to have that balance of having a female, give a different perspective about things. And then, I'm a teacher, so I do look at things. Sometimes I do gravitate towards that when I talk about certain things. If I feel like it's something that gravitate towards that, then I think it's nice because I can see things from different perspectives. So yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. And I do have 2 questions. One is from KC, and the other one's from Grizz. Oh, also, Al says, "Good afternoon, y'all. Shout outs to the K&R family. Keep the movement going. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you so much, as always." Okay, so KC says, "What do you like the most about yourself, Tammy?"
So what I like the most about myself is my ambition and my determination. So and the heart that I have. So like even with becoming a teacher, just the fact that it took me so long and I continued to keep going and pursuing it, even though there were times when I felt like it wasn't going to happen, I still still kept going. So for me, my perseverance is a big thing, especially because I have a daughter. So she looks at me, and I want her to see that she doesn't have to give up. I want her to see what it looks like when you don't give up and you achieve the things that you're trying to achieve. So that's one of the things I like most about myself. Um, and just like the fact that I'm very giving. So the people that I care about, um, I'm very much about making sure that they have what they need from me. And
Hmm.
so the friends that I have that I care about, I say, it's so funny I say that I care about as if I have friends I don't care about. Like, I got friends that I care about, but I got some friends I don't really care about them that much. No. I mean, people know that if they need me, I'm there. And if they ask me for something, if I have it, they've got it. So on my Facebook earlier, I had posted about how, a lot of times when somebody asks you to do something, and the person says yes, the person that asks feels the need to say, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and give you this or do this for you in exchange for you helping me. So, and I think with me, things that, like, I mean, I'm a special ed teacher, so I deal with kids that have processing issues, but I feel like I have processing issues when it's something where that just doesn't quite make sense to me. Because I
Hmm.
feel that when somebody asks you for help, it shouldn't be because there's something in it for them, as far as they're gonna give, there's something in it for you. It should be that you offer to help just because it's something nice to do. And it's
Yeah.
just really sad that the way the world is like, that's not how it is. If you want to help somebody, they're like, okay, well, if I help you, I'm gonna need you to give me this, I'm gonna need you to give me that. And so that's one of the things that I love about me, is the fact that when I help people, I kind of have this strange look when they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll go ahead and do this. And I'm like, you ain't got to do that. Like, I had somebody today that had asked me to help them with something, and I said, okay. And they were like, okay, well, I'll buy you something to eat. And I'm like, you ain't got to do that. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
helping you because I want to, not because you're going to give me something for it. I'm helping you because that's just what you do. That's things that when you care about people, there's just certain things that you do when you truly care and love you, at least when you say that and you actually mean it. Because we all know that there's some people that say it, but
Yeah.
then mean it is completely different. But if you truly love and care for people, it shouldn't be, you shouldn't feel obligated to do something. You should do something because you want to, not because you feel like you have to. And if you feel like you have to, then you might need to reevaluate some things. So that's something that I love about me,
Mm.
that I'm very giving. And, if you need it, if I got it, you can ask me and I don't mind. So yeah, so, and then even when people do things, I don't hold on to things. Like, even when people ask me for money, they'll ask me, when they ask for it, they say, oh, I give it back to you on this day. Well, once I give you money, I forget that I gave it to you. Like, it's just gone from my memory. And then I have people that come back
Yeah.
and say, "Oh, remember when you let me borrow such and such, or I got that money for you?" I really have to sit and think about what they're talking about, because I really don't remember. Because once I
Hmm.
gave it to you, I took it as, I give it to you. That's it. It's not a loan. I'm giving it to you. So yeah. So those are the things that I really like most about me, and the fact that I'm a teacher. I love teaching. I gotta throw in the teaching thing, because for me, that's not a job. For me,
You got to.
that's what I love to do. When, like, even now, I've been going to my classroom to work in my classroom. I'm not paid right now. Right now, it's summer vacation. I'm not going. They're not paid right now. We don't have to go in our classrooms, not until next week. But I'm excited to get started. I'm excited to get my room ready for my students. So yeah. So those are the things that I love most about me. Thank you for
Yeah.
that question. Thank you, Casey.
Hey, uh, yeah, that was definitely like a great question,
Mhm.
like to like ask.
Yeah.
Mr. Hall of Fame. I know right now you can't speak and you can only chat in the chat room. But if you have like any questions that you want to ask Tammy or any comments, feel free to type it in the private chat, and then I could just post it like on the public for Tammy. Oh yeah. So yeah, and that's good. Like I think what it is that sometimes people feel. I think because like they ran into so many people where
Hmm.
like they gave but with their own personal intentions that they
Hmm.
don't want to feel like they're obligated to pay somebody back. And
Hmm.
that's how I could kind of feel sometimes. Like sometimes I just try to turn down the offer because if I feel like I'm not able to pay you back, I don't want you to come at me at the end and be like, well, I after all I did this for you or I did
Yeah.
that for you, like
Yeah.
um it's kind of like you're trying to like hang me like on a leash, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But a
yeah,
lot
I
of
can.
people do that though. That's the sad part is that a lot of people will do something with a
Mhm.
stipulation behind it. Like I'm gonna do this, but then you got to do that. It's like that. That's just not
Mhm.
the way that it should be. But there's just too many people like that because I mean, there's a lot of just the way the world is. A lot of people are selfish, and a lot of people are not willing to do something unless there's something in it for them, and it's just sad because there's just this sense of obligation from people, and you shouldn't have to feel like that's the way it is. So,
Yeah, we do have a comment from Gator Girl. Shout outs to Gator Girl. Like, thanks for joining the live
hey,
stream.
hey Gator girl.
Uh, don't forget, Gator Girl. Like, get them likes up. uh, but going back to Gator Girl's comment, she says that coming in from rehearsal, gonna catch the replay. Peace, power, and blessings to knowledge and relationships. And First Lady Tammy. So thank you so much, like for your love and comments. And I gotta go back to a question that Grizzly Bear asks. And by the way, I'm assuming that Gator, you must be like doing like when you said rehearsal. I guess you're doing like acting, like theatrics or something. Feel free like to like share that in the chat. Um, Grizzly Bear says, "Have you written any more poetry lately?"
So I have a poem that I'll be reading on Thursday, and then there's something at the end of the month that I'm supposed to. It's actually an event that I'm gonna be reading poetry. So when it comes to poetry, it's not like something. I mean, so there's times when I could just all of a sudden just get it out there and just write some things, but there's other times where just a thought or an idea about a poem, I get that in my head, and then all of a sudden the words start coming. So it's not like I'm sitting here every single day writing poetry. It's just sometimes I'll get into this poetry mode to where I'll write like 3 or 4 poems just right in a row. But yeah,
Mhm.
I have one that I have for Thursday, and then I'm going to be writing more and more and more because I like to have it for each topic. I like when we have a topic that I have a poem that is related to the topic that I can read. So, and then I was thinking about doing putting the poems into a book. So, I want to have enough poetry to put in that book. So yeah. So there's poems that are continuing
Mhm.
to come from me. So yeah. So definitely, there's one that's written, and then I'm gonna be writing another one tomorrow. So yeah. So I'm always constantly writing poems.
Mhm.
And the poems that I write, I like for when I read it for whoever hears it to feel like it resonates with them. To feel like, man, I felt that. I could relate to that. I feel like that poem was speaking to me. So
Yeah.
then even after the poem's done being read, you can still you can remember it. It still stays with you even after it's been read. And so that's what I like, and that's what I want to happen. I want it to be something that you feel like that poem was saying exactly
Mm.
how you felt. So
I should have asked you to like, write something for like tonight's live stream. That would have been like more impactful.
it's okay though. It's okay. Yeah, no, I
Man,
have
man.
one. Yeah, the one on Thursdays is it's gonna be a very it's gonna be a good one. So
Okay.
yeah, because I get to where I feel like there's something that needs to be said. So then
Okay.
I come out from my head like, okay, yeah, this is something that really needs to be said because I done said something or somebody done said something or something I done heard, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be impactful. So
Got you. Got you. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Mhm.
And then also Grizzly Bear. Oh, well, actually, I don't know. Gator Girl also says, yeah, I do a little theater on the side. It keeps me out of trouble. Love the poetry, First Lady.
Thank you.
All right. We also let's see. Christopher has another question. And chat, feel free. You're more than welcome to ask like questions as well too. Each question that you have, like for First Lady, I'll definitely read your questions out, and First Lady will respond to it. So don't be shy with the questions. Okay, so Grizzly Bear says, "Are you planning on creating a YouTube channel for sign language?"
That's a really good question. I've never really thought about doing that. So here's the thing is I feel like you have to be honest with yourself about when you decide to do things to know how committed you will be to it. And I feel like in order for certain things to be successful, you have to be committed. You have to understand the type of work that it takes to put in there. And, if you don't have enough time to do something, it might not be the right time to get it started. So as far as a YouTube channel, as far as for sign language, I think that would be a really great idea. I never even really thought about that, to be honest. But I know right now I wouldn't do that just because I do take classes at the community college. So I take an art class, I take a math class because I want to get more proficient with the higher level math. Even though I work with special ed kids, we don't do the higher level math, but I still want to be able to have that. Um, so I'm doing that. And then, there are times when I do sign language online. And then, of course, I'm teaching full time. And then I'm a mom full time. So I have so many other things going on that there just wouldn't be enough time for me to dedicate to something like that because I would want to do it to the best of my ability. With sign language, you have to really, really know what you're doing and make sure you're signing things in the right way because the deaf community, they want to make sure that you're doing it the right way. Because if you're not, they're going to be very critical, which I think they should be critical. It's their language.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be able to criticize what you're doing if you're not doing it right. So I want to make sure that if I do it, it's something that even like the deaf community, they can appreciate and they can be happy with. Because they're going to criticize you, like I said, as they should be able to. There's no reason why they shouldn't. So yeah, that's actually a really, really good question. And it's a really, really good idea. I mean, I can see that possibly being something in the future, but right now it's definitely not. Because like I said, there's not enough time for me to dedicate to that in order for me to feel like it could be successful.
Gotcha, gotcha. And another question that Chris asked, man, he on fire with his questions, so well, I like it. He says, "Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years as a teacher?"
The next 5 years. So I mean, I could see myself still being a special ed teacher at the school that I'm at, just because I love the school and not. I mean, not only because it's a 7-minute drive from my house. 7-minute drive. I ain't got to get on the freeway. Um, but I mean, I could see myself being a lead teacher at the school that I work at. I could see myself being on a committee. I mean, I just feel, in 5 years, I'm just going to continue to get better at what I'm doing. Like, I feel like every year that you are doing something, you get that much better and you get to improve that much more. And so with me, I get students for 3 years in a row. So what's nice is that I get to really get to know them. They get to know me. They get to learn my teaching style. I get to learn their learning style. So I feel like it's so beneficial for them to have me there, especially because, when you come into a second year at the same school, you're going to have a whole bunch of new teachers. So I think it helps them to be a lot more comfortable knowing that they're going to have at least one teacher that they're familiar with. So it helps to put them in a more of a comfortable state of mind to help them do better. So, because that's just one teacher they don't have to get to know again. But yeah, as far as 5 years, I mean, I feel like I'm just going to continue to be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be a principal. I've never considered being a principal because I feel like they are hands-on in a way but not as hands-on as you are if you're a teacher. So, so I feel like I want to be like when I went to the charter school before I came to the district that I'm at now. Um, I had a caseload, extremely high caseload. So my caseload got up to 108 at one point. And for a special ed teacher, a manageable caseload is around 24, maybe 25. That's manageable because when you have a caseload, each student has to have an annual meeting. Some students have to also have a triennial meeting. You have some students that have an interim, and then you have initials where people are getting, you're doing assessments to see if they qualify for special education. So, to think that if you have a caseload of 108, that's 108 meetings you're doing in a school year. And that's only the annuals. That's not counting all the other kind of meetings they possibly have to do. So, it's hard for you to really work with the students when you have that big of a caseload because you're just having meetings all the time.
Why they give you 4 times the amount?
Right. Like you're either having a meeting or you're preparing the paperwork for a meeting, or you're getting the documentation, all these other things for it. So there's not time to work with those kids that need that help. So it was hard. It was hard. Mm-hmm. So where I'm at now, my caseload hasn't been over 25, and I feel a lot less stressed since I've been there. I'm one of the only Black staff members at the school. And I feel that even that is impactful because I had a student who, her grandma, she was living with her grandma told me that none of her kids had Black teacher. And the fact that not only that, I'm teaching math. So and I'm a woman. So there's so many different factors that are so impactful for these kids. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't see myself being a principal. I like to be hands-on. I like to be working with the kids. I love having my own classroom. I love doing the things that a lot of teachers complain about. I love grading. I love making assignments. I love doing seating charts. I love the discipline. I love the classroom management. I love all those things. And a lot of teachers complain because it is a lot. It is a lot that you have to do. But I love doing it. So it doesn't bother me to have to do all that kind of stuff. So, so as far as 5 years, which is a very good question, by the way, I see myself continuing to do what I'm doing now. Like I said, not being an admin, there's so much that goes into that. I could see myself being a program specialist, possibly, as far as special education, just because I feel like the fact that I'm African American and having certain positions in a district, in a school, is so powerful, and it says a lot for those students. It says a lot for those parents. It says a lot to those admin when you see a Black person in a certain high position. It says a lot about that person themselves and how much work they put in. So, and my parents and my students, they love when they can see the dedication that I have. So yeah, so as far as 5 years, it's a possibility of being a program specialist, but I just love where I'm at as a teacher. So I could see myself continuing to teach, possibly taking on more responsibilities. But I could see myself being the lead special education teacher at the school that I'm at. So I could see myself definitely doing that.
Oh, okay.
Cap. She capped me. I don't believe her. What's going on, y'all? What's going down?
What's up, Mr. Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I'm here. Wait, hold on. Where the shades at? Come on, don't do that. Where the shades at now? Come on now.
No. We're interviewing First Lady Tammy, not Hollywood Tammy. You keep your shades up.
That's hilarious.
She put the shades on. I'm gonna have to change the whole thumbnail, the title, all that. Nah, man, that's too much work.
Let me put the shades on, man. Put the shades on.
I'll put them on, but I'm gonna take them off. So, but
Okay, hold on. Let me get the sound bits going on. Hollywood Tammy.
Look at the dance.
That's her persona right there,
Let me ask this question. How do you feel about now that you're on here, you're a celebrity now. No, I'm joking. Now that you're on here, you about to get your own platform and all that.
Mhm.
How do you feel about you taking the lead, you getting your own profile as a woman of knowledge and relationships? How do you feel about now getting your own profile and about do your own thing?
Um, but it's interesting because I hadn't considered doing that at first. Um, but now that I'm going to be doing it, I'm excited because I feel that there's certain topics that I really am looking forward to discussing that are more generated towards women. So there's certain things that we can talk about that guys can't necessarily talk about. I mean, it's
Mm,
nice to get a man's perspective on things, but I think there's just certain things that when it's a group of women discussing it, that women empowerment and giving voices to other women, I think that's an amazing thing. So I feel like
Yeah.
having that type of platform, if you have an opportunity to have that type of platform, it's an amazing thing. And to be able to take that opportunity and put it to work, like that's powerful. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see the interactions with everybody that's on the panel, the guests that get on there, the different topics and questions and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
mm.
Okay. Well, dang, that just kind of answer like the number 5 question because I was definitely going to ask, since you're currently a member of our team, what do you have? What new expectations do you have for our live stream? But I feel like you
Well,
kind of answered that well,
well,
unless
I
you
don't
have.
know because, like I said before, that
Mhm.
when it comes to something that's live,
Mm-hmm.
you can have expectations, but it's live.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's live, anything can happen. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. You can't edit it in the you can't stop and say, hold on a second, let me edit it right quick. You can't. Like
Yeah, you out in
it's
the wolves.
happens. I mean, you might stop it like, hold on, we gonna cut it real quick. But it's out there. And so I mean, my expectations for the live streams are just to have a lot of different types of topics that may have not been discussed because maybe they're more women-centered topics
Mm.
than men. So it's going to be interesting I feel like, because there's going to be a lot more women perspectives because I could see there being a lot more women coming in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's some things that some women are just not comfortable talking to guys about. There's certain
Mm-hmm.
topics they're just not comfortable when there's a lot of guys. They're not comfortable with that. So
Yeah.
when there's a panel of women, it's almost like they feel like this is a group that can relate to them on certain things. And so
Mm-hmm.
my expectation is that there's going to be more people that are drawn to it because they're like, damn, okay, now they have this other area that I can go to. I can feel like I can really get some different type of insight because these are ladies. Ladies see things in a different way. We speak in a different way. We look at things in a different way. So some people can gravitate towards that. And I guess my expectation would be having more people that will gravitate towards that. But then because they gravitate towards that, then they may also gravitate towards knowledge and relationships when we have the regular stream. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and I could see that happening. Because there's people that I may know that I may want to have come on, and then the other people that are going to be on the panel, they may have people come on. So then it just draws more and more people in. So, for example, let's say we have a topic about women that have their own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Like I may have some women come on that I know have their own businesses, and so they come onto the stream, and then they talk to the people that they know, like, oh, I was on the stream, it was cool, it was a bunch of women, it was really nice. So then all of a sudden that causes them to watch not just the women's stream, but also, oh, they got knowledge and relationships on Thursdays. Okay, let me go ahead and check that out. So then it can have a really good domino effect because you don't know how many people they know and how many people they're going to speak to and speak highly about the stream. Because the thing is that you guys didn't have to do that. You
Mm-hmm.
guys could have just kept it the way it was and be like, we cool. We got our stream. We got First Lady Tammy in this stream. We have some other women come on here. But for you guys to say, you know what, no, let's go ahead and have this women's panel this women's stream, it means you guys are trying to, reach a lot more people, and that's a really good thing. And people are going to see that, and people are going to resonate with that. So that's what I think. That's what my expectations would be.
Yeah. And I'll definitely give credit to Mr. Hall of Fame for that idea, because I think that was like a creative type of move, and I feel like why not have the platform for the ladies to reach out to other women as well too,
right,
so they can feel comfortable to speak while we just sit in the background and just not be seen,
Yeah.
Grizz also had one more question. He says, Tammy, do you ever come up with the ideas for the show? Which, it's obvious, but yeah.
Do I ever? I don't, well, sometimes an idea comes to mind. Sometimes it does. But anytime I have an idea, I always tell M3 and, Mr. Hall of Fame, I'm like, man, this might be a good one. And so that's one of the things I like, is that when I express an idea about something, they actually take time to think about it and think it's a good idea. And then, if it's a great idea, then it becomes a topic. So, but that's the good thing, is that there are so many different things you can discuss. There's so many umbrella topics where there's so many other subtopics that can come under that. So it's nice because it might be something that I thought of, but they hadn't thought of. So it's nice that when I do express, oh, this might be good, that they actually take the time to hear what I'm saying and consider the idea that I have. So yeah, so I come up with the questions, but every now and then I do give a suggestion of a topic. And the suggestions are good. So, but yeah.
Okay. And this will be a good one. But Mr. Hall of Fame, do you have any questions that you want to add to it? Oh, I guess he's doing something real quick. So, all right, Tammy. All right. So I have the number 6 question. I think you'll like this. What is come on, not sure. Okay. What is the origin of your stream
Can you
name?
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. I can hear like a slight echo on your end though.
Okay.
Yeah.
The origin, because I'm the first lady. Like, I'm the first lady. I'm the first lady. Yes. There we go. That's the origin. I'm the first lady. And I will always be the first lady. Like, you can't come in and take that title. Like, anybody that comes in, well, no, because another woman comes in, she's not the first lady. I'm the first. You might be the second lady. You might be the second lady.
Wow.
But you can't be the first lady.
Wow.
You can't be. If there was already a first,
Wow.
you can't be the first. Like, you might be the second lady, but you can't be the first. I mean, and it sounds like it sounds bad, but I mean, you have to do like you can't be the first lady because there's only one person. It sounds so bad.
Wow, man! Let me get a game over something.
So I'm the first lady that was consistently on here. Like, once I came on, I kept coming. So if somebody else comes in, you weren't the first lady that kept coming. You're the second lady that kept coming.
Yeah.
So you can't be the first lady. I mean, that's my title. Ain't nobody gonna take it. So I mean, so yeah. So.
Let's get sad music real quick. Wow, wow, that is well said, because I didn't really think about it like that, because here's the thing. I mean, yes, granted, we had other ladies that came into the panel before, you came around, Tammy, but they wasn't as consistent. No, well, not even with the consistency. They didn't start off by putting the work that you put into it. See, that's the other thing too, though. when you came around, you know, you was already ready to like learn, and you was already ready to work. And that part, I can't take that time away. Well, I ain't a woman, but no other woman can take that time away from me. You know, so you know she got the facts, y'all. So if y'all try and come at her hard body, all she gonna do is just get y'all out the way, and then that'll be it. All right, so man, so that's the origin
But
of
not
First
just
Lady
that.
Tim.
See, when she came
Yeah.
in,
Hmm.
can y'all hear me? She came
Yeah, I
in.
Mhm.
can see it.
You know, yeah, when she came in, she was like, she automatically was like, "This is my stream." Like she just said that from the gate, and I was like, "Okay." Like we was kind of unsure of where her mind was at, but then when she was like, "Oh, this is my stream. I'm taking over. I'm doing this." I was like, "All right, you know what I mean? Let's get it going. Let's get it popping." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then because when people say stuff sometimes, you hear them, but when you see the seriousness of a person, you're like, oh man, like she's serious. Like, yo, she really is like, yo, this is my stream. Like, this is it. It's my stream. Blah 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 blah. And then when she did that, and then the action just showed on top of that. It was like, yo,
Mhm.
like she ain't playing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's really real about this. And we felt that from the beginning, from the onset. Um,
Mhm.
and then the fact that she was already confident coming in was a big thing as well. Like the confidence that she showed from the gate was just huge because you got to be confident when you're doing this. You know what I'm saying? You got to be
Mhm.
confident. You got to have thick skin.
Oh yeah.
And I got another question.
Okay.
What do you think about Master Duck?
Whoa. Okay, that was a random
Woo!
question, but
Yeah. You know, he's a fan. He's a fan. Um, so I do feel like some of the things he says are inappropriate. So I do feel like there's times he really needs to tone it down. Um,
Hmm.
certain dialogue is just not it's not attractive. Like certain dialogue is just not attractive, and so certain dialogue won't get the right type of attention that you are looking for.
Mhm.
Um, it might do the opposite. So you have to be very mindful of what you say, how you say it, and what your intent is with what you say. Um, you know, so yeah, so I mean, he's a fan, and I love a fan. I do, continue
Mhm.
to be a fan. I'm not mad that you're a fan.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, sometimes the stuff he says is a little bit much.
Mhm.
Um, so he probably wants to tone it down because yeah, some of the stuff he says is a little bit too much to take. So yeah, but like I said, he's a fan. He don't want nobody messing with me. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. But the dialogue has to change. So
Yeah.
so so and the dialogue has to
There's a little
change
echo.
so that the contributions he's making are received in a good way. Because you want to, yeah, and that's things like you say things and be funny. You can make jokes and it can still be a comment that people take in a good way. Um, but you want to make sure that what you're saying is being received in the way you intend it to be received, and you want to just pay attention to the audience. So but yeah, so
Mhm.
toning it down would be good. But make sure that the contributions as far as the things that you put in the chat are things that really make people pay attention in a good way. Like, oh my God, he really got some stuff to say. So,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like, if he's trying to get my attention, which he might be trying to get my attention, like that's the way to get my attention is to put something in the chat that is significant and actually shows a lot of maturity in what you say and what you think. Where I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying. So yeah, so it's
Mhm.
about being mindful of the dialogue you use. So yeah, so Match Deck, yeah, he's a fan. So that's the most I'll say. So
Well, shout outs to Master Duck and his true
Yeah.
love for Tammy. You know, hopefully he could get his life right and become like a better man for Tammy. So, or a better
No.
fan for her. So
Okay, and
that's
so
good.
I got two more questions. I got two more questions.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, so I'm gonna keep it light, but then I'm also go. You know, we gonna we gonna get crunk a little bit.
Yeah.
Um. So the first question is on a lighter note. What do you think about Gator Girl?
I love her. I absolutely love her. I love her. I think she's awesome. I wish she would come on. I hope she comes on the women's stream, and gives her feedback because I like the things she says. Some stuff she says is comedy, and some of the stuff that she says is real, and. So I like the contribution she makes when she's in the chat, and I love the fact that she supports knowledge and relationships. Like she's a lot of times she's one of the ones that comments all the time. So that's definitely appreciated. I hope she tunes into the women's panel, and I hope sometimes she even gets on there. Even if she doesn't have to show her face, she ain't gonna show her face. She could be on there, but I like her. I think she does. She makes really good contributions. So I like her.
Yeah, we all like her too. We're gonna give her a horn for Gator Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Hall of Fame. What's your next question? I like these questions so far, man.
Me
Can you
too.
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Next question is okay. So, what is your thoughts as a single woman? Because we got to the single woman stuff. What are your thoughts as a single woman about the dating scene? Gotta go to the dating scene. Talk about it, girl. Come on now.
Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the
Okay,
single ladies.
so here's the thing: is there's different types of single women, and there's different types of mindsets that you have as a single woman. So I think the problem with dating depends on the type of mindset you have. Because there are single women, they out there trying to, to live their best life, do all kinds of things, no questions asked. And when you have standards and you have morals, and there's certain things you're not willing to put up with, there's certain things that you're not going to let slide. It's hard to find somebody who, is worth your time. So especially as you get older, because I'm 40 years old. So, I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for games. I do get on dating apps, and sometimes those are a joke. Because there's guys that are locked up that send you messages on dating apps.
Oh, damn.
They might need love too. You ain't getting love from me. So you ain't getting no love from me. So, and that's the thing is that, when it comes to dating apps, you have to be very particular about even who you interact with on there. The dating scene, it's not that great. It's not that great. Even on the dating apps, a lot of people don't really want to meet anybody. They just on there to play games. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard out here for a single girl. It's hard. But, I don't have time. I don't have time for games. I don't have time for drama. For me, it's not that I need to have a man around. I want to have one around. But I'm not just going to settle for just anybody. I have a lot of things going for myself. So there's certain things. I have a career. So you need to have a career. You need to have a job. You need to either have a career, have a job, or be going to school, either A, B, or C. There is no D. So the thing is, I'm ambitious. You need to be ambitious. If you are okay with how things are right now, you're okay with complacency. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't work. I'm moving forward. I'm trying to do things to better myself and better the life of my daughter. I'm not okay with just sitting in the house. That's even as a teacher, we have these summer breaks for months. I can't just be one of those people that just sits in the house with nothing to do. I have a job. I'm more on a break right now, but I can't just sit in the house. I just can't do that. So for me, there's certain things that I'm not willing to put up with. I don't do drama. I don't have people in my life that bring drama, and I don't want drama from you. Like, you got 2, 3 baby mamas. you know, it's one thing if you have 2 or 3 baby mamas and you're a good dad and you in your kid's life. Okay, that's cool. That's great. But then you have the other ones that they got 2 or 3 baby mamas and everything's in turmoil. You know, they fighting, they can't get along, you know, they can't co-parent the right way. Like for me, I'm a single parent, but I mean, I co-parent with my daughter's father and there's no issues. There's no issues. There's no arguments, there's no disagreements, there's no nothing. So, I mean, it can be done, but it's about maturity. And not everybody's able to have that maturity because some people don't think about what's best for their kids. They think about what's best for them. So, you know, you arguing and you need to do this. It's like you worried about who he's dating, who she's dating for what? That ain't got nothing to do with your kids, whoever the person's dating, unless they're treating your kids in a way that's not okay. And that's my thing with my daughter's father. You know, the person you're dating, they better be treating my daughter the right way. If not, I'm gonna have a problem. So as long as my daughter, when I talk to her about, you know, how was she, you know, was she nice to you? I interrogate her when she goes with him and I pick her up. Like, how was she? Was she nice to you? Did she say anything? What did she do? I want to know everything because I want my daughter to feel comfortable going over to your house. I don't want my daughter to come to me and say, oh, I don't want to go over there because of so-and-so. Like, that's just not going to happen. I need my daughter to be comfortable wherever she's going. And if she tells me she's not, it's going to be a problem. So, you know, I don't have baby daddy issues. Like, I don't even call him baby daddy. I'll call him my daughter's father because I feel like there is a difference between a baby daddy and a child's father. And so I don't have any issues with him. We don't have that. We get along perfectly fine, even though we're not together. And so I don't have those kind of issues. So if you do have kids, there's certain things I'm not going to tolerate when it comes to that. So that's the thing is that when you have standards, and I'm not saying being picky, because I think there is a difference between being picky and having standards. Mm-hmm. I think being picky is more about being superficial. You know, being picky is like, he needs to be this height, he needs to make this much money, he needs to have this kind of job, he needs to drive this kind of car, when in reality, none of that stuff really matters. So, you know, when you have standards and you know your worth, you're not willing to just settle just for anybody. And then even with marriage, you know, a lot of people jump into marriage because it's the thing to do because, oh, my friends is married, all my friends are married, let me get married. And they don't fully understand what type of commitment that is. They lie to themselves about what type of commitment that is. And they don't really take the time to think about the fact that that is supposed to be a lifelong commitment. It's not like, you know, oh, I'm not happy because you didn't do this, let's get divorced. Like, no, that's not what it is. Like, you need to really be honest with yourself. Are you really ready to put in the work and do what it takes to make that marriage work? And some people are not, but they don't really think about that. They don't think about the commitment that it takes because marriage is not to be taken lightly. It's a serious commitment that you really need to think about. And some people don't. So I think, you know, with dating, it's about being honest with yourself about the things that you want and the things that you're not willing to put up with, and understanding that you need to, I think that a lot of times that people are looking for things in other people, not realizing what you're looking for in someone else, you already have it within yourself. So you need to find it within yourself so you're not looking for it elsewhere. So within yourself first. So you yourself, because that's the thing is that when you're looking for it in someone else, it's because you're looking for that to make you happy. When the reality is what you're looking for in other people, you have it within yourself. So once you find that and you can be happy and content with who you are, now you ain't got to really trip because you're not looking to fill those needs. You're not a puzzle that's missing that piece. You have all the pieces you need. That person is supposed to complement you. And that's the thing. That's the thing when it comes to dating. Not everybody is ready for that. A lot of people trying to play games, having, you know, side chicks and side dudes and, you know, all these kind of different things. And, you know, if that works for you, that works for you. It don't work for me. You know, I'm not about that life. And I'll admit, I'm not afraid to admit I'm not about that life. Some people are. And that's the thing is about being honest with yourself and what you're here for, what you're looking for, what it is that you need. But like I said, it is about learning to love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself first, then you can't expect somebody else to love you. But like I said, dating is interesting. It's really interesting when it comes to dating as a single person. I mean, a lot of people just give up when there's all these different clowns that thinking they're trying to join the circus. Everybody ain't got time for that. So that's the thing, is that recently a guy, he said to me, he said that he left because he's like, I seen you had a career. You was talking about going to Europe. You have your own place. You doing all kinds of stuff for yourself. And I was like, damn, I need to step my game up. That's the thing, is that some people, they're not ready for you. You struggle, and they're like, oh shit, I thought I was ready and I'm not ready. And that's the thing, is that people ask
and three, Hollywood is officially showing up. Hollywood is here.
Some people is like, they ask for things, like they ask, oh, I want this and I want that, and it's like, are you really ready for that? Like, are you really ready for that? And when it comes, it's like, oh shit, I thought I was ready, but I'm not. And that's the thing, is that what I was telling a friend of mine was that when I don't see people for a while, thank God, I'm never doing worse than I was doing before. I'm either continuing to do the same thing, or I'm doing much better. So I'm either continuing, not stagnant, continuing, or I've elevated to another level. So even with my career, where I'm at now in my career, I wasn't there 10 years ago. I was working to get there, but I wasn't there 10 years ago. So that's the thing that I liked, is the fact that I continue to keep going. But like I said, with dating as a single person, it can be hard because, the type of people that, think that they are dateable are not dateable, because they lie to themselves. They either lie to themselves, or a bunch of people have been lying to them, and people need to be honest, So.
And my last question is, what do you feel like men need to change? Come on now.
What do men need to change? That's a hard question. I mean, it's hard to say what men need to change. I just think it's more what people need to change in general. And I think that a lot of people, and I said this before, a lot of people are not honest with themselves about what they can and cannot do, what they are or are not willing to do. And I think that's the thing, is that a lot of people lie to themselves, even when it comes to relationships. You have somebody who was not faithful, and people say, oh, let's get back together. And if you decide to get back with somebody who was not faithful, you need to be honest with yourself before you make that final decision. Like, are you really willing to look past what they did? Like, if you be honest with yourself, like, don't get back together because you got kids. Be honest with yourself about, are you going to be able to look past the fact that they were unfaithful? And I think that's the problem, is just, and that's why I say I can't say what men need to change, because I feel like it's just something that people as a whole need to change. People need to be more honest with themselves about who they really are, and the type of things that they need, and the type of things that they want. There's too many people that are too selfish. People need to start being more considerate, and, not trying to do something because you feel obligated, not doing something because there's something in it for you. But that's a hard thing, because a lot of people are not there. A lot of people are not ready to hear the truth about themselves. And I think that's something else, is that people need to be honest with their friends about who they are. Like, don't be afraid to tell someone you care about themselves, because if you really truly love them, they're going to see what you're saying, hopefully, as it's coming from a place of love rather than criticism. So that's the thing, is that I feel like, just as a whole, like I said, it's hard to say what men need to change. I mean, it's just, I think people just need to be more honest, and that's the problem. And that's why you have the side chicks and the side dudes and the side babies and all these kind of other things.
Babies.
Because people are not honest. People prefer to lie to tell the truth. I mean, because I was in a relationship where the guy was a habitual liar. I mean, lied when there wasn't even a reason to lie. So, I mean, it's like, it just didn't even make any sense. And it was just funny because one of the times that he lied, the person that he said would tell the truth was sitting right next to me in the car. So we were in the car, and I was asking him some questions. And he was like, no, that's not how it is. And I was like, so if I talk to so-and-so, are they going to say the same thing? Oh, yeah, they're going to say the same thing. Well, unbeknownst, which is a lovely word, unbeknownst to him, the person was sitting in the car right next to me. And you talking about that person going to say the same thing in the car right next to me. So what was so funny was when we got off the phone, not even 1 minute later, he had texted her and be like, if Tammy asks you, this is what you need to say. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? That's what I'm saying. Is like honesty, man. Honesty is a big problem. It's a big problem. So, and that's something I think, not just men, but women. A lot of women are not honest either. So I think just overall, it's not really what men need to change. It's what men and women need to change. So.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad, and I know habitual liars. I mean, from men and from women too, which is downright embarrassing. I kind of wonder, what do they do? Like, you just wake up in the morning, you're like, let me just see what lie I'm gonna make up for today.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna lie about this, and then go on about my day. So, yeah, dang, man. Well, thank you for sharing all that.
Let me ask this. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the biggest thing you've learned recently that's helped you in your life, and what is one thing you still need to learn?
So one of the things I say I would need to work on as far as me is when I'm very passionate about something, I like to get my point across. So I have to learn to hold on to that and allow people to express themselves without me jumping right in. It's like allow them to express themselves fully. And that's things like, I think just because I'm so passionate about how I feel, I'm like, man, I got to get this out. But it's about, training yourself, I guess, to kind of just wait, just, hold on, just wait. So, and that's just something I do, even if I'm talking on the phone with friends, like I will just jump in. They're like, hold on, let me finish. And I'm, steady going. So, and I think that's just, there's always something that everybody needs themselves to work on. That for me is something I need to work on. And I understand that about myself. Something I've learned that has helped me. I'd say there's things that I've learned from past relationships, as far as past relationships have taught me what I need from somebody I'm in a relationship with. And I feel that there were things that I didn't realize that I needed. So when it comes to past relationships, you're meant to learn something. Every relationship you're in is meant to teach you something. And the problem comes is if you don't learn that, then you go into the next relationship having to go repeat those same things because you didn't learn that lesson. So you're going to continue to repeat. That's why it's like, why do I keep dating the same kind of person? You keep dating the same kind of person because there's something that you're supposed to learn. You ain't learned it yet. So until you do, you will still keep dating those same kind of people until you figure out what is it that you're meant to learn. So those same kind of people keep coming into your life for a reason. But and that's the thing, some people aren't even honest with that. Like, they're not honest with themselves that if you've been in 5 or 6 relationships and every single person is letting you go, it is a possibility that it's not them that's the problem. Just saying, it might be you that's the problem. It's about being honest. But that's the thing, is like I learned that I need to be with somebody who accepts me for me. Because when I'm in a relationship, I accept you as you are. I don't have this mentality that, well, there's this thing, and he might change that. The longer we're together, that might go away. Like, no, I'm gonna accept you as you are, because this is you. This is you being you, and I'm not expecting that to change. Because the
Yeah.
reality is that it's a great possibility that that won't change. So the problem comes is that I make sure when it comes to people that I love and care about, I'm always making sure they have what they need from me. I want to make sure that you're taken care of. If you're around me, you're taken care of. The problem is that in relationship that I've been in, I'm so focused on making sure that everybody has what they need. I'm not making sure I'm getting what I need. So it's about, and so in that, them accepting me as I am is something that I need from them, and I'm not paying attention because I'm making sure that they have what they need from me. So I feel like that's something that I've learned. That's why when it comes to past relationships, I don't say my exes are bad people. I say, they're not a bad person. They made a decision I may not have agreed with, and that's okay. But I do feel like that's what I've learned is that, the people that really care and love you are going to accept you as you are. And I'd say that's the biggest thing that I've learned. And I feel like that's helped me to know what it is that I need going down the line. And I feel like that's helped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, I do have. I have to get to this number 7 question real quick.
Okay.
For the number 7 question, okay. I'm gonna get like in deep with the poetry stuff. So that would be probably from like number 7 and number 8. But with the number 7 question, okay, on our live streams, we have the privilege to listen to your poetry, which is absolutely stunning.
I was about to just ask that too.
I got into it before you did. Nah. But and we thank you for that. But okay, who or what was your inspiration to write poetry?
Let's see. Honestly, there wasn't a particular person. So I know about like love languages. So one of my I have like you always have like a primary and a secondary. So my primary is words of affirmation. So I like to express myself to people to tell them how they make me feel. So with poetry, I'm expressing how I feel about things. So when I write a poem, like when I wrote the poem about true love, about being a mom, it's because I want to express how motherhood makes me feel. Like being a mom is this undying love for this person that God has gifted you. And you'd die for this person. It's about the person. Like this is a poem that my daughter can read, even now or as she gets older. Like now she probably wouldn't fully understand it, but as she gets older, just like understanding like the love I have for you is so deep that I would die for you. I'd exchange your life for mine with no questions asked. So, when it comes to a poem, it's more of, I think about things that I've gone through, and I know that there's somebody out there that is going through what I've been through, feels the way that I feel, and I want to write it in a poem to where they can say, I felt that. I'm going through that. I can understand that. So that's the thing, is that with the poetry, it's a matter of it being something that I want people to be able to relate to. And so that's where it comes from. Because even the way I put the words together, I want it to be to where even the way the words are put together, it makes you think. Even the choice of words that I use are impactful in the way that they're used and what they say. So I say that as far as the inspiration is just my life is my inspiration because of what I go through, what I've been through, and how I want that to inspire other people.
Okay. And then the last question about the poetry part is, do you plan to take your poetry to a higher level?
Since joining the stream, I've considered that. So I am really, really leaning towards putting the poetry in a book. So that would be something that I'd have to talk to somebody else familiar with doing that to know how that would work. But I think that would be nice because poetry that I have, I feel like it can inspire a lot of people. And it's some people say like that poem was real deep. I really felt that. And I feel knowing that people say that, there are so many other people that could feel and say the same thing. So if the poems that I write could make other people feel that same kind of way and maybe say, damn, I felt that. I think I want to write a poem myself. That is my motivation for wanting to take it to another level. For that reason, for it to help somebody else.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'll say this. What we'll do is that once you get off here, I'll show you. I'll send you a video on how to get a book published, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
I got you.
Get ready to read that Book of Tammy. You know.
Word.
And I had like a teacher question, but you kind of answered this like earlier.
Yeah.
And that was a question where I was going to ask you, like, as a teacher, if you had the opportunity to become a principal, would you take the offer? If so, or if not, why? But
M3, did she name her favorite hobbies yet? Did you talk about your favorite hobbies and stuff already?
Yeah, I did say those. As far as the principal thing, now that's not to take away from the principals that I've met. Some of them. But like I said before, like I feel like once you're a principal, you're more hands off than hands on. And I feel like being a teacher, you are more hands on. You're working directly with those students, those same students every day. You really get to know them. You really get to work with them. A principal, you're in charge of an entire school. So yeah, you can get to know a lot of the kids, but really, there are students that you miss as a principal. Like you get to know them badass kids. Them badass kids come into the office. It's like, oh damn,
bad kids for?
If it's from the math class, they're like, the teachers, you setting up Michael? Yeah, tell Michael to come on. Like, Michael, what you done did this time? What you done did this time? What you done did? You over there clowning the teacher? Like, so that's the thing, is like you get to know the bad kids. Then they get to know the great kids, those honor roll kids, they get to know those. But then it's like those ones that are in the middle, they don't get to know them that well. They're like kind of left to the side because you're not bad as hell, so you're not going to the principal all the time. You're not on the honor roll, so you're not being recognized for those great achievements. So they're just kind of left in the middle, and the principal really doesn't really get a feel for them. So that's why you have a principal that would say, I don't really know that student that well. Because the ones that wasn't one of the ones that went to your office. That wasn't one of the ones that went to that honor roll ceremony. So I feel like as a teacher, you get to know good teachers, I'll say. You take the time to get to know all of those kids, and you get to make all those kids feel special. So that's where I feel the benefit is of being a teacher than a principal. I mean, I have 2 master's degrees, so I could go teach at a community college if I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's something I could do. I choose not to.
You said 2 masters?
You said what?
You said 2 masters?
Yeah, I have 2 masters.
Hey, okay.
Hey.
So,
big timer?
So I could go teach at community college. I mean, that's not something I've considered doing, but I could. But that's the thing, is that, that's a level I haven't decided if I want to go there yet. Because I think with adults, I would have a lot less tolerance than I would with kids. Like if you grown and you in my class, there's a whole lot of excuses I'm not going to accept. I'm not going to accept. Like, you grown, you in my class, get your shit together.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like I said, as a principal, there are those kids that fall by the wayside, not because you don't care. It's just because you have so many things that you have to do that those are the ones that you don't get to see and really get to know. So that's why I wouldn't be a principal. I would be a lead teacher. I would be, the lead special ed teacher, but I'd still have to be a teacher. That's why I think on a stream, when somebody had said, if you won the lottery, would you quit your job? And I would say, no. If I quit my job, it's to open up another school so I could work in my school as a teacher. So, I mean, that's the thing, is that I love what I do. I love being a teacher. For me, there's no other profession that I feel would do what teaching does for me. So.
Yeah. And the thing is I'm sorry. Wait, actually, hold on. Let me say this one little thing real quick. And I understand, like, I mean, the principal gets the bigger check, obviously,
Yeah.
but the teacher has the fundamentals with the student, the relationship with them, and if that's what it's all about, that makes a teacher happy and satisfied, then stick with being a teacher.
Yeah.
And as far as with the masters, right? It's funny because there's always this person, right? He shall remain nameless, but no, there's always this person that always talking about like he has a master's degree in whatever ology, right?
Stop.
but
Stop.
but
Don't do that. Don't do
but
that.
but,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
but you have like two masters and you're not flexing it.
Right.
So that's the part that I feel like that makes people unique because like, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I don't care.
Well, that's the thing.
You're not flexing.
Like I've had people ask me, if I would get my PhD or my doctorate. And I mean I've considered getting a PhD. I've considered it, but the reality is that
Clay had a degree. Don't do that.
Like you're so stupid. But the thing is that in reality, I mean, it wouldn't change what I'm doing. It wouldn't up my pay. Like they're not going to give me a couple extra $1,000 a year because I got a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be me getting a PhD, having to spend a lot of money, probably taking out a bunch of more student loans just to have this title.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to pay a bunch of money just to get a title. So, I mean, with my master's degree, the amount of money that I make every year, it goes up. My pay goes up every year. So, I mean, I'm content with where I'm at.
And that's good. There was this number 10 question, but you kind of answered this one already earlier. Oh, and by the way, Hall of Fame, just to answer the question from earlier, because you asked about the hobbies. Some of the hobbies that she was talking about, she plays like video games and puzzles as well. And she's really good at sign language too. So I consider that as a skill more than a hobby, but I mean, sometimes your hobby can turn into like your skills, But the number 10 was like, what do you enjoy?
So as far as I enjoy the different opinions, even if there's opinions I don't agree with, which y'all didn't see there. Sometimes there's opinions I don't agree with. I still like hearing opinions that are different from mine. So, I mean, when it comes to certain things, I'm very passionate about, and I feel a certain kind of way. But I still enjoy hearing the different opinions from other people. I enjoy the fact that, when there is so many different people, there's so many different perspectives. I like when there's, I like when I'm the only woman on there, but I also like when I'm not the only woman on there because I like seeing more than just my female perspective. What do I not enjoy? I don't know. I don't think there's really anything I don't enjoy on the stream. I mean, even if I get into a heated argument, I don't carry that on after the stream, because I feel like it's just a heated disagreement, and there's going to be times when you have heated disagreements with people, and that's all it has. Like, it doesn't have to be more than that. So I think I feel like when people watch a stream, they're like, "Oh my gosh, what happened after the fact?" And it's like nothing happened after the fact. Because we're mature enough to know that it was just an argument, that there's two people that are passionate about what they're talking about, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, I enjoy seeing that I'm passionate about things, but there's other people that are also passionate about things, and they want to express that too. So, there's not really anything I'd say that I don't enjoy, because I like everything so far. So so I can't say there's anything that I don't enjoy. So
okay.
I don't know if you answered this already, but have you traveled? And if you have or you haven't, what are places that you want to travel to, or what places have you been?
So I've been to I've been to England twice. So when I came here when I was 8, because I was born in England. When I came here when I was 8, on the promise of going to Disneyland, but that never happened, just saying. So I didn't have any contact with my father's side of family. And so I had asked him at one point about getting in contact with his side of family, and wasn't trying to have me do that. So, but on Facebook, I was friends on Facebook with one of my cousins. Well, while we were on Facebook, another cousin messaged me, and she's like, "I think we're related." And her and I had the same last name. And I said, "Well, who's your mom?" She told me who her mom was. Her mom is my father's sister. So I was able to get in contact with her, and then her siblings. And then talking to them, I decided to go over to England to go see them. Now, these are cousins that I've never met them or I didn't remember meeting them. And I went over there in 2018. 2018, I went over there for the first time. And it was interesting because my cousin, she met me at the airport. And no, she met me at the bus. I took a bus from the airport. I took a bus to the bus station. So she met me up there. And even though I didn't remember knowing her or anything, even in talking to her, it was like there had been no time that passed at all. And so when I got to meet all my other cousins, I felt like I was around family. And these are people that I had never met, didn't remember meeting them. I felt like I was around family. In fact, there were two cousins that were not talking. And they were just they were having disagreements. They were not getting along. Well, that first time when I went out there, everybody decided to go to a restaurant because I was there. And those two cousins, they put their differences aside and they both came to the restaurant. And that meant a lot to me. Even like one of my cousins, him and my aunt were not talking. They put their differences to the side and everybody came to this dinner. And that was so powerful for me because it's like, even though we're not getting along, you decided to push that to the side to come together for me. And that meant a lot to me. So I went back there in 2019 and I stayed there for like a little over a month. And that's the thing I love is that when I go, I don't have to stay at a hotel. I stay with my cousins. So I can stay over there for a month. And the only thing I got to really pay for is my plane ticket and if I want to go do stuff. I'm planning to go back. I don't know when I know two of my cousins are coming out here next year. They're planning to come out here next year in like November. And I have a brother that lives in Germany. And I have an aunt that lives in Amsterdam. So she wants us to come out there, me and my daughter to come out there, which I may or may not do. It just kind of depends. But I am planning to go to Jamaica in April. So yeah, I'm going to have a girls
trip. Yeah.
So yeah,
you can take Casey with you.
So Kashim and Queen, if they want to be included, they're more than welcome to be included at the girls trip to Jamaica. So and then
you speak to them privately. You can speak to them privately.
Privately.
Okay. And then I was reading online. So Expedia does it now where you can you don't have to pay for your whole trip up front. You can pay for it. You can pay it, make payments every month until your trip comes up. So that motivates me to go to other places because I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Spain. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to all kinds of different places. So every year I'm going to be going somewhere new. So hold on. That's my doorbell. So you guys hold on one second.
Okay, no problem. I wish I could play like the intermission music. Like dun 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 dun. Yeah. But man, these are some good questions. I'll say the number 11 questions for last. But yeah, people are like in the chat. What you guys think about?
They open it up so they could come through.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna open up like after I asked Tammy like the last final question. But yeah, we're gonna definitely. So Jack, be prepared, right? Because I will open up the stream for everyone to like join in, and I'm gonna open it for one person at a time. Feel free to like ask Tammy any question. Yeah, feel free to ask Tammy any question, but choose your questions wisely because you guys will be on the time limit. I might as well get the number 11 out the way. Do. Man, I should play some elevator music next time. Let me see. I do have some songs.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Okay. So, all right, Tammy. I do have one final question to ask you.
Okay.
Before I allow some of the people in chat to come in. Last question is: if you have anything that you would like to say to the chat and to the people who support you, what would you like to say?
What do I want to say? Just thank you. I appreciate everybody who has some, even Master Duck, even with his little interesting comments, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. So, I'm hoping that, the love comes to the women's panel. I think that's going to be nice. So yeah, I guess that's all I can really say is that thank you for everybody who's supportive of me. I definitely appreciate it.
And we thank you as well too, Tammy, for joining on the live stream and all that you do.
Rocking with us. All right, we're about to open up that stream, so come on through and comment.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's see how many people we have on YouTube and Facebook. Let's see. So on YouTube, we have at least 4 people that's watching. So everybody, I'm gonna give you guys a chance. Feel free to join the live stream. It is now open. Feel free to hop in, ask a question for Tammy. Oh, hold on, we got Kiosk Pro up in here. Kiosk Pro, what's up, bro? Definitely good seeing you. He's like one of my good friends from the Super Smash Bros. Community. Back in the days, I used to compete in tournaments, play against and play with this guy as well too, in teams. What up, my brother? I'm doing pretty good, man. It's definitely good to see you on the stream. He is also a YouTuber as well, and he plays a lot of competitive Halo games. So go ahead and subscribe to his channel as well too.
Chaos
He's
Pro.
a correction. Oh, great friend. Yes, definitely you are. Chaos Pro. Since you're in the stream, if you would like to join in to ask First Lady Tammy a question, because we was giving her an interview, feel free to ask her any question that you like.
Well, not any question. Make sure it's
Don't do that. You know what I mean?
All right, so we have Queen in here.
One of the queens is gonna reign supreme on the ladies' night. It's Queen. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Not much. How you guys?
Pretty good, Queen. Good to see you.
Pretty good.
You hanging in there with these two?
I'm trying.
I think I just wanted to say, what kind of aspirations or vision you have for your daughter, being that with the things that you've been through. What is something that one of those hard conversations you want to have with her?
So, it's interesting because I've had hard conversations with her. So as her being a young African-American female, I've had conversations with her about what it means for her to be Black in America. So when the whole George Floyd thing happened, I had a discussion with her about the fact that there are some people that are not going to like you because your skin is darker. There are some people that are not going to want to be friends with you because your skin is darker. There's some people that are going to say things to you for that reason. And so, in her mind, it doesn't make sense to her. She's because her response was the skin color doesn't matter. And in reality, it shouldn't matter, but it does matter. So, and the thing is, I had the discussion with her because I wanted to prepare her for if it happens. So that way, not even if, but when, because at some point it's going to happen, she already knows that there's nothing wrong with her. Because I said that there's no, if somebody says anything to you because of that reason, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It means there's something wrong with them. So I want her to be aware of that beforehand. That way she doesn't have to come to me upset and not understanding why somebody would say what they say or do what they do. So, I mean, it kind of just sucks being a parent because you have to, like, that's the thing is, like, as a parent, you're not having the birds and the bees conversation. You're having the conversation about what it means to be a young Black boy, a young Black girl. And, the fact that, and they even, like, when she gets older, like, if she gets pulled over, like, even to have that conversation, I mean, I hate that I have to have it, but I have it. So, I mean, those are the kind of conversations that I have to have with her. That I don't like that I have it, but I know I have to. Like, I mean, there are certain conversations I haven't had with her. So we haven't had a conversation about homosexuality. She's like, my daughter's very innocent. She is not aware of certain things. So we haven't had that conversation. We haven't had the transsexual conversation. That conversation hasn't come up. I mean, it will, because I don't want her to treat somebody different because they look different or, they like someone different. And my daughter, the way she is, I can't see her doing that. But I want her to understand different kind of people that are out there. But I mean, as far as, like, with her aspirations and what she's like, I mean, she tells me, like, oh, I want to be a teacher when I get older, which is nice. I like that she wants to do what I'm doing. Like, she says she wants to be a math teacher. I highly doubt that because she don't like math anyway. But she might want to be a math teacher, and that's okay. And even with grades, I tell her that, if you get a C, that's okay. If you know that you worked your hardest and that's the best that you could do, and you honestly know that you worked that hard and that's what you got, you need to be proud of that. Not saying that you need to continue to keep getting C's, but you want to continue to strive and do the best you can so that you can get as good as you can get. So, I mean, I would like her to go to college when she gets older, but I also want her to know that if you don't want to go to college, that's okay. So, I want her to be able to make her own decisions and be comfortable with the decisions she makes. She's very sensitive and she's a pleaser. She likes everybody around her to be happy. And if they're not, then she even, like, recently, like yesterday, she was in what she considered her version of trouble. And she was harder on herself than I would ever be. I mean, she thought she was just a bad daughter and all which I'm like, where'd you hear that at? 'Cause I never said that to you. And we had to have this conversation about how my love never ever goes away, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. My love, we went to Build-A-Bear one time, and she has a bunny that says, it has my voice saying, "Mommy loves you always and forever." So she slept with that last night, but I told her that she needs to always remember that. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as her aspirations, I want her to do her best at whatever she's doing, be successful at whatever she's going to be successful, and, fight her hardest and continue to pursue and be persistent with whatever it is that she wants to do. So, and I think her seeing me, because my daughter has seen me at times when, I took the test to be a teacher and I didn't pass, and I would be crying because, like, when the score is 220 and I get a 219, it's like, that's hard because now, it's like, okay, now I got to go take the test again. So at those times when I was crying and I was upset, my daughter, she would give me hugs and tell me, "Mommy, it's okay." And that means a lot to me coming from her because she's little, that's what she does. So, I mean, I know that she watches me and what I do, and she sees the things that I do. And my hope is that she sees me and she wants to do good and do as good as I did, if not better. So, so my hope for her is just for her to do her best. So,
okay. Tammy, you mind if I ask you this question on the behalf of Chaos Pro?
Sure.
He is pretty shy to speak to you, like, personally, but he says his actual question is, what is your opinion on forbidden love? Well, he says, me and this girl can pretty much never be together, but we both know that we're soulmates
Uh,
and chooses to love from afar.
so what I will say is, what when we say forbidden love, what do we mean by? Because forbidden love can mean many things.
Mhm.
So what do we mean? Like forbidden love can be people like that's related. Not saying that's his case, but I'm saying. So what is forbidden love? So what does he mean by forbidden love? That is so it's hard because it's hard for me to say. I mean, forbidden love. If two people are in relationships, I mean, if you're in a marriage and she's in a
Mhm.
marriage, but you guys believe you're soulmates, I mean, it is a possibility that you might be, but I mean, you can't pursue something when you are. The thing is, like, your focus needs to be on who you're married to, and that's if this is the case, because this is the person that you said vows, vows or promises that you made to that other person. So, loving from afar, you can love someone from afar without there being anything as far as anything physically that's connecting you. I mean, you can love many people from afar without physically connecting. So, it's about being respectful of the person you're in a relationship with. Now, if we talking forbidden love is in forbidden as is in not supposed to happen at all, and I'm not talking about people that are married. I'm talking about because of just the way life is. You're not supposed to be, and I mean that's the thing is like some people think that they're soulmates and they're really not. So it's kind of hard to say. I mean, what makes you think that you're soulmates? That would be a question that I ask. What is it that makes you think you're soulmates? Is it because you get along, you have great conversation, you have so many things in common? So that's the thing that's kind of hard to answer because number one, I would want to know what do you mean by forbidden love? What makes it forbidden love? And then number two, what makes you think that you guys are soulmates? How do you know that? I mean, the reality is if you knew this person before you got married, why'd you get married? Would be the question. So there's too many unanswered questions for me to really give a definitive, response to that unless there was more information.
Yeah.
I can answer that. And I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it G with you, Chaos Pro. Okay. Now listen. Of course, if it's your family, man, or if it's like if it's your family, you know what I'm saying. I don't care if it's a distant relative. Don't do it. Like that's craziness. Like you need to go talk to somebody about that. Like you need to go get some professional help. You need to go see a therapist, psychiatrist, something like that. I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? If it's the same gender, then you got to figure that out on your own. I can't. I know what my beliefs are, but I'm not gonna throw that on you. Um, so you got to figure that out on your own.
Well, he did say it was a woman though, so
Okay,
definitely not the same gender, nowhere near that.
okay,
But he
cool.
did put his answer on there.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not gonna tell him. I'm not gonna tell how to live his life as far as like another gender or whatever. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
That's on him. So like I said, I got my views and that's my views, but you do what you want. But as far as family, yeah, that's off limits, man. Family,
Yeah.
and I would even say friends of the family. You know what I mean? If they're tight knit, I'll even say that's off limits too. But with that one, you have a little more flex, but that's still shady to me. Outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you only live once, man. You only live once. If there's somebody that you really feel is the one, you know what I mean? Then you better go after them because whoever you're with, I don't care what the situation is. You could be married, engaged, girlfriend, whatever. If you stick in a situation, you're wasting the other person's time and your time. You know what I mean? And all you're doing really is hurting both people, and you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting the person that person's with. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in that situation, you gotta work it out. You gotta work it out. Y'all have to come to a decision. You know, if y'all willing to go against all odds, or are you gonna sit back and not be with that person and just deal with you not fully being with the person that you love, and that's gonna be on you. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be on you. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You have to figure that out for you when it comes to that. You know, because you only live once, and you know, as one of my aunts would say, boy, you know, you ain't live. Don't live this life to be miserable. You know what I mean? Don't live this life to be miserable, and also don't damage the person that you're with, making them feel like you really want to be with them and you really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like you really don't want to be with that person, but you're just holding on because you can't be with the person that you wanted because you don't want to. You haven't stepped up to the plate and really had that conversation and really talked to them. And a lot of times too, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You need to just have an adult conversation. Look, I feel this way. You feel that way. Okay, what are we gonna do about this? You need to have a real adult conversation. You know what I mean? Because like I said, life is short, man. You only get one. If we can hit reset, yeah, waste time. Waste time. Don't go after them. Let them get married. Or let them stay married or stay wherever they at. You know what I mean? And you know, and you never do anything, and you know, and then you'll be miserable, and then you'll die miserable, which you don't want to do. You know, you want to die knowing that okay, all right, cool. You know, I went after this, and however it worked out, it worked out. But I gave my best. I gave them all, and if it don't,
Mhm.
then it don't work out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that person chooses to be with you and want to ride with you against all odds, then hey, man,
Yeah.
you're a fortunate man because you're asking a lot. But if they're not, you have to respect that too. You got to respect that too. You got to respect if they don't want to acknowledge it, or if they get comfortable, or if they feelings have changed. You got to accept all that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I don't know how the situation got this far, but somewhere along the line, you know, you could have had opportunities to kind of express this, but you didn't take. Maybe you just had to mature some. Maybe you had to go through some things. I don't know your story, man. I'm not judging you. But there
See,
was
he's saying something though. Yeah.
somewhere along the line that you could have done something about this and you didn't do it, and now you're at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when I went in the hospital for my health. The doctor said, you know, they said one of the nurses said, you know, she said, you know, Mr. Hall of Fame. Now you may not know what you have, but you know why you're here. You know the mistakes that you made. You know why you're here. So you know why you're there, Chaos Bro. You know why you're there. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to you to be man enough to deal with the situation and have adult conversations and make adult decisions. And that's my take.
All right. So his thing is I'm just gonna read the comments real quick because he said chemistry is really it, but we live on other sides on the world, and our paths are into direction. And then he was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "I respect that. I appreciate the words." And then he says, "Our lives went into this is our lives went on two different paths at one point in our lives, and it never had an ending. It was always what if missed opportunities in life, I guess." Okay, okay.
Well, you only
So
you only get one Chaos Pro. I mean, bruh, if this is who you really want, then you're gonna have to make that move, man. You're gonna have to make that move, bro, and go find her and have those conversations with her. You know what I'm saying? And whatever happens, happens. But at least you know that you tried, or at least you know that you express how you feel, and and do it with respect. Say, hey, look, I don't mean no disrespect, but this is how I feel. I'm not trying to tear up your home or anything, but this is how I feel, and hey, this is what it is, and do it out of respect and do it in a respectful manner, and no a person never gets mad at you for being respectful. They get mad when you're disrespectful and you don't express things the right way. But if you're having a adult conversation, they should receive it well. So, yeah.
and he says for sure, he says like, "Thanks, brother."
Anytime, bro. You know what it
Yeah.
is.
And you know what? And like Hall of Fame is pretty right. I mean, what's the worst you could do, right? What's the worst that could happen? You say something and then she says no. Nah, the worst thing is that you don't say anything at all, you don't take the action, to me, that's the worst. You know, you never want to be in a situation of these what ifs because it will haunt you.
Yep.
You know, and we're gonna wait for First Tammy to come back, and then once First Tammy is back, um, Queen, do you have one last question that you want to ask her?
No.
Okay. When First Lady comes back, we're gonna get ready to close out.
Yeah.
We're already
I
hitting
did
the
I did want to say something to what the guy was pro chaos, chase, whatever.
Chaos Pro.
I did want to say that, you know, having a conversation like Mr. Hall of Fame said, having a conversation with that person, being honest with yourself, what is it about that person that you just can't let go of, and also because you never want to live in regrets. What ifs will kill you, you know,
Yep.
because you're always you stay stuck there. So, you know, having that conversation and because you never know, that person may be nothing like what you once knew her to be, or, you know, because of the time and the distance, people grow apart, you know. So what you know of this person may not be the same person that person is today.
Right.
And being okay with that, because with you taking that risk, you risk losing the person that you're with, if you're with somebody, and giving up on a relationship or something that you built because of living in the past and not being able to let go. I believe what's for you is for you, and what's out of your hands is out of your hands. I don't believe in chasing after past experiences, because I was a different person back then than I am today, and our chemistry may not work now when it did before.
Yeah, Queen is right on point, man. Like, if it's for you, bro, like it will.
You ain't got to chase it.
You ain't gotta chase it. You don't.
Nope.
You don't. But the thing is that you do have to deal with the feelings. So you do have to either express it to them, and if they don't receive it well, that's your answer. That means that it ain't for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That means it ain't for you. That's all that means.
Yeah. Shout outs to DJ Eddie King. I don't want to get too much focus on Chaos Poe because, you know, the
that was a
spotlight
great
still
question.
him. Yeah, it was. But shout outs to DJ Eddie King. He
DJ
says,
Eddie King, what's going on, baby?
DJ Eddie King in the chat.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships channel. Thank you so much. And, you know, the signature,
Now, DJ Eddie King, you better jump up in here, bro.
I gotta say that I do give a shout out to DJ Eddie King, because he's the whole reason why he became on the stream in the first place. So I gotta give him a round of applause, because he's the reason why he became here in the first place. So
yeah, give him his flowers. Give him his flowers.
Yeah. You know, we're gonna give him like the hand clap right now. Gosh, man, this thing is so slow. Let's give him a hand clap real quick. You know, we always say, like, you know, give the person their flowers, but, you know, I don't think DJ Eddie King needs flowers, so just give him his beer, you know. So give the man his props. Thank you for all you do, especially with the music and all that, DJ Eddie King. So always, man, I'm always going to shout him out, just like I shout the rest of my friends out as well too. So,
go ahead. I just want to say,
go ahead.
First Lady Tammy, continue doing what you do. Shine. Thank you so much for having a heart and a passion for teaching, especially special ed, because I think that's an overlooked group of kids. When you're labeled and you're put in a corner. So thank you for all your heart, going to work every day, loving what you do, because that's very important. And the kids, I feel like, really benefit from your heart and your love for teaching.
Thank you very much. And it's interesting because originally I hadn't considered special education. Originally, I considered general ed, and I said I would do like lower elementary, And then my first opportunity to work, and I was not really well informed about, like, I really thought that it was like kids that are really severely disabled, like really autistic and in wheelchairs. So that was the extent of my knowledge of special ed. And then my first experience working in special ed, I worked in a deaf and hard of hearing classroom. And so for my interview, they said that I had to do something in sign language, which at that point I wasn't fluent at all. There was some things I had learned, but I wasn't fluent at all. So, I mean, and I did do some at my interview, and they said that even though that was something they told everybody to do, I was the only one at the interview that actually did some sign language. So, and what my position was, I was an aide to a girl that was deaf. She had cerebral palsy. So I was her aide. And so when I first started working with her, she was still in pull-ups. She wasn't doing a whole lot of signing. And so the more I worked with her, she was able to start using the bathroom on her own, wearing underwear. And then she started doing a lot more signing and communicating. So so that was my first experience working in special education. And so after that was when because at that time I had a master's in education. No, actually, no, I just had a bachelor's. I was working on a master's in education. No, in special education. I was working on my master's in special education. And then I went ahead and got a master's in just education. So, so it was interesting because I think some people, when they aren't really familiar with special education, you don't know that there is such a thing as a learning disability. Some people think that, oh, it's just, autistic and, in wheelchairs things, but they don't know that, having a learning disability, when you're in special education, you can have a learning disability. You can have, it may be hard for you to process things. So which is why you have a hard time learning in the regular classroom. So, so I think some people don't necessarily take the time to really learn about special education. And even the kids that I work with, I have to explain to them because, there is just the stereotype that if you are in special ed, that there's something wrong with you. And I have to explain to them that there's nothing wrong with you. You just learn things differently. So you don't learn things the way the other kids do. You learn things in a different kind of way. So, you have to have a teacher that understands how to teach you in a way that you understand. So, and I have to tell them that because I don't want them to feel that there's something wrong with them. And I tell them, when you have a learning disability, it means that there's something that is out of your control that is getting in the way of you being able to learn it like someone who's in general ed does. So it takes a teacher like me who is trained and educated and understanding how to work with you so that you can learn things the way that's going to work best. So, and I feel like as a teacher, it's really important to explain to students about who you are and, let them get to know you. I feel like some teachers don't do that. That's why when I have kids that say, if you weren't teaching, what would you be doing? And I say, I wouldn't be doing anything else. For me, I have a passion for what I do. I feel like there's some teachers that don't, even in like the schools that I talked about yesterday, where, the majority of the staff is Black. You have some teachers that are Black that come in there and they think, okay, the kids are Black, I'm Black, it's all gonna be all good. They don't really understand that, yeah, these kids is Black. And keep in mind that the way they talk and the things that they do is like, just because you is a Black teacher don't mean that all of a sudden they're going to say, oh, you Black, it's all good. No, these kids are going to treat you a certain kind of way because you're a teacher. You're not their parent. So they understand that dynamic of that you're somebody different. And I still have to get to know you. Like there was a teacher that came in and it was funny because like the kids didn't listen to her at all. And so she said to me one day, she said, well, she's like, well, the kids should automatically respect me. And I was like, why? She's like, because I'm the teacher. I was like, the kids are not going to automatically respect you. They don't know you. You haven't taken the time to get to know them. They're not going to automatically respect you. I said, you need to take your time, get to know these kids. Allow them to get to know you. It's not an automatic thing. It's not an automatic thing that all of a sudden, just because you're the teacher, that you automatically get their respect. No, especially when they haven't had teachers, a consistent teacher, when they've had different teachers coming in, coming out. They're not going to automatically trust you, That's something that it takes time. And the kids see that. the kids know if you're invested or if you're not. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I want to just say a quick shout outs to Master Duck. He just came on the stream.
It's your opportunity, brother. It's your opportunity. All right. First,
Should never hit on me. Wait, no. So this is funny. Listen to this. So
all right.
I've had kids. So not last year, because this the year before. So I had kids that asked me inappropriate. They weren't sexual questions, but it was like a question like, when did you get your first kiss? I was like, don't you think that's a little inappropriate? Like, so they haven't hit on me, but they asked me certain questions. And I'm like, you need to stay in your lane. Like, that. So yeah. So now what I will say, so last year, when we went back to where it was like the hybrid, where it was like distance learning and in person. So there was this one kid in my class. He's an 8th grader, and he used to say stuff. So I used to always like kind of make fun. I'm like, oh, I said, your girlfriend break up with you. I said, that's why you act the way you do. I said, it's gonna be all right. I said, she left you. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So he told me that he said he had a crush on me. But I thought it was funny. But he's like, yeah, I got a crush on you. I like you a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's cute. It was cute, but he didn't take it nowhere or nothing. It was just something he said. But I think I don't necessarily think he had a crush. I think it was because even in like his educational stuff, like you get to read the background of these kids at the different schools. Like there was like stuff like that. He pulled knives on teachers before. He was just off the hook in these classes. And I never had those issues with him in my class at all. Like he was real respectful with me. He wasn't acting a certain kind. He was cool. I didn't have no issues, no behavior issues, no nothing. And so I think it wasn't necessarily that he really had a crush. I think it was just like for the first time he had a teacher who he was okay with, that he didn't do all these kind of things. Like even when he would say like use a word like a curse word or something, I'm like, that's inappropriate language, right? So I'm not gonna automatically give you detention or something like that just because you said a word. I'm like, hey, now that's inappropriate. So I'm real laid back, but there's times when I gotta be like, okay, look, that's not, and I've said to kids before, like, look, that's not gonna work up in this class. Whatever you do in that other class, that's not gonna work up in here.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to know that I'm a different kind of teacher. So I have that side where I say that, but I also have the side where I'll joke around with the kids. Like he was saying something to the kid. I'm like, don't call him buckwheat. Ain't that your name? Ain't your name buckwheat? And but the kids, that's the thing is like the kids, they laugh because they know I'm not serious, and I joke around like that, and the kids know, yeah, she's joking around, but she's a good teacher. She really, really cares. So that's the thing. Like I said, with him, I don't necessarily think that he had a crush. It's a matter of I haven't had teachers that have really taken the time to get to know me and given me a chance, and now I finally has a teacher that's given me a chance. So. Yeah. I feel like he liked me in that way, not necessarily the crush thing. So, and then I even came to the graduation of the kids. And that's the thing is that I was the only special ed teacher that came to the graduation. And I know it was a big thing for my kids because a lot of these kids, they only have special ed classes. So if you have if you have these 8th graders and all they have is special ed classes and it's graduation, there's all these general ed teachers. Well, they don't know none of those teachers. And it's like, this is a big thing. You graduate from 8th grade and they don't know none of these teachers. They only know special ed. So the fact that I actually took the time to be there to celebrate and cheer for them, that meant a lot to those kids because they don't have any teachers that they recognize but me. So it's nice to be able to have one of the teachers that you've had for the last couple of years to be there to celebrate that. When you don't have you don't know the general ed math teacher, you don't know the general ed English teacher, my math class, and then the special ed English class, and that's it. But all these other teachers are there, and I'm the only special ed. So I appreciated the fact that I could be there for those kids to support those kids, And I even had one of my students, she told me, she says, when I get to high school, I hope I have a math teacher just like you. I mean, that to me, I appreciate stuff like that. Like, and I ask the kids, my job is to make sure that you feel better about math than you felt when you came in. And if you do, then I've done my job. And so I've had kids, they tell me that they understand the math better. They feel better. They feel more confident in the math. And I have a student who, he could go to general ed because he does, but he said he don't want to go. He want to stay with me, which isn't really the best fit for him. But it's like math is one of those subjects, you either love it or you hate it. And you love it or you hate it based on the teacher that you have. And I feel like a lot of teachers, they get into the profession because they love to teach whatever subject they're teaching. Like, I'm going to teach math because I love math. You don't have somebody teaching math who hates math. Teachers just don't do that. So the fact that I could tell my kids I hated math when I was in school because I had horrible teachers, and then I take the time to teach them and get to know them, like, it's a big, big thing. It allows them to open up. And I have kids that open up to me and really appreciate the kind of teacher that I am. So yeah. So as far as the whole hitting on me thing, they don't hit on me. The crush thing, I think that was cute. But, when you have kids that they've had all kinds of behavior issues in these classes, and that's what I think is that when they have behavior issues, I feel like they almost expect for the teacher to treat them a certain kind of way because they know the kind of student that they've been. So they expect for this teacher to have in their mind about what kind of person they are. So when you come in my class and I'm acting all happy that you were there, and I'm not having this idea in my mind about, damn, he was doing all this shit in this class last year, now I got to have him in my class. That's the thing, is when I hear about kids, I don't take what the teachers say and base my opinion. I really take the time to get to know them, because just because they were like that in that class doesn't mean they're going to be like that in my class. And for all I know, this might be the year they finally decide to get their shit together. And they want to know that you as a teacher are going to give them a chance to show that they can do different. They can make different choices. If you come in with this preconceived notion about, oh, he did this shit last year, he going to do the same shit last year. The kids know that, they see that. And in his mind, he's like, well, they think I'm just going to do the same thing, so I might as well. They're not even going to give me a chance to really show that I can do things different. So that's the thing, is that teachers need to be aware that you give these chances to kids to show you who they are before you come up with your idea about who you think they are.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm going to have to close this out, but First Lady Tammy, thank you for the interview. This was definitely amazing. I know we went a little overtime, but it's okay. That's how we roll on the stream sometimes. So, but yeah. Other than that, you guys have any closing announcements, you guys?
Queen, you can go first.
No.
Okay. Well, hold on. One last question. DJ AK says, like, what do you say to the teachers who are only there for the paycheck?
So, the interesting thing, and this is what's really sad, is that there are a lot of teachers that are there just for paycheck, because so once you get tenure, you really ain't got to do shit. And there are teachers that don't do shit. Like, they there because to fire a teacher it's costs a lot of money to fire a teacher. Dang. So when you got tenure, your job, like this year is my first tenured year. Like, you have to be there for 2 full school years to get tenured. This is my first tenured year. Once you get tenured, your job is guaranteed. Like, you are guaranteed to come back the next year. So it's like saying, it don't matter what you do, you still got a job. So
you become sloppy drunk and then you'll still be clear?
Like, there's teachers like that don't do shit, and they're there just for a check, because it's like, hey, I ain't gotta do nothing. I ain't gotta work that hard. I get my money anyway. And so I used to not want to do tenure. Yeah. Like, I used to, like, when I went to work at the charter school, I didn't want to do tenure. And I didn't want to do tenures because of the teachers that were there for a check. I mean, what do I say? Is like, if you're there for a check, go get you a different job. Like, you're not benefiting anybody by being there. You cannot, like, and that's the thing, is like, they can be fired, but it's not like the easiest thing to get them fired. the thing about it is like if you are, and this is the thing when I talk about the whole honest thing, if you're not there to really be invested in those kids, you need to go somewhere else. Because you are you're creating a bigger problem than you're solving. You're not solving anything. All you're doing is creating a problem with these kids. You're not helping them with anything. So what do I say about teachers there for a check? If you're there for a check, you can go get your check somewhere else. With your degree, you can go get your check somewhere else. You ain't got to be there. So, and it irritates me when I see a teacher who's there for just a check, because I know that those kids deserve better. And so that's why you have kids that have these behavior issues that act these certain way with some of these teachers, is because these teachers don't give a shit. They don't do anything. And the thing is, they don't have no classroom management. So that's a big thing, is when you don't have classroom management, these kids will take advantage of you. But like I said, like as far as not as being there for a check, like if you're there for a check, you need to go somewhere else. You're not benefiting the staff. You're not benefiting the parents. You're just a body in a class. So, and it just sucks, because then you have somebody like me who's not there for just a check. I'm there because I love what I do. And it just sucks because you have it where these kids can get used to having people that come in for just a check. And then when they get to you, in their mind, they're like, okay, well, I've already had these other teachers like that, so you're going to be the same kind. So you have to work that much harder to show these kids that you're not like that, which the teachers that really care are going to work their hardest. But it just sucks that because of what these kids have been seeing and what they're used to, you have to work that much harder to show them that I'm not one of those. But once you do, once you show those kids that you are, really in there and you're genuine, those kids are going to love you. Those kids are going to love you to death.
Okay. With that being said, First Lady Tammy, can you, shout out like your social media real quick?
Hold on, wait. Hold on. I gotta give First Lady Tammy her flowers. Hold on. So number one, First Lady Tammy, thank you. The spotlight is definitely on you today. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you. Thank you for holding us down, and thank you for just being willing to help us and be there for us and really support us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to Queen as well for jumping on and being supportive, and definitely shout out to the big man with the band. M3, you know what it is. Like if you're from non relationship. We got a podcast coming up soon. You know what I mean? On the 14th of this month, 14th of August. And with that, I would say M3, you go first and then let Tammy close. Yeah.
Okay. So it'll be me and then you and then Tammy, right?
No. You're next, and then Tammy.
Okay. All right. So make sure remind me if I forget anything, but yeah, so thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. This is also as known as MTTV News, the stream that gives you the best news. So most days, Mondays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m., we cover news topics on celebrity stuff, and we also talk about relationships. This is primarily like a relationships channel, so expect more from it. This week we're going to be pretty busy because we have two more women that we need to interview, and Queen will be up next, so stay tuned for that for this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you guys and girls wish to donate, please donate to the Cash App, which is $Mario Marion, and definitely feel free to get these likes up. Tell all your friends about my stream. Subscribe to my channel if you wish to. All this stuff definitely helps as well. So always make sure that you guys get your minds right before tuning into the stream. And then we'll go ahead and click over to Tammy. So Tammy, First Lady Tammy, thank you so much again. So definitely provide your social media and they said great show as usual. Thank you so much, Shauna. Oh wait, do you know that person?
So you know how to put on my sunglasses.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go Hollywood. Let's go.
Yeah. So, No, so pretty much as far as me, like my Instagram is First Lady Tammy, like it says on my box, First Lady Tammy 916 is all one word. So there's no spaces in between First Lady or Tammy. It's just all together. So and then I'm on Facebook, but you can't search and find me on Facebook. So I have it where you can't do that. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram.
Okay. All right. So you heard that, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you follow First Lady Tammy. So, and then Hall of Fame, you have anything that you want to say before we close out? Remember, you are the network manager too, so we gotta shout you out.
Yes. I am the network manager. Even though I want Tammy to go last, is all good. I'm network manager for Knowledge and Relationships. Hit me on Instagram on MR Mr. Hall of Fame. So that's MR Hall of Fame forever 4984. Hit me up anytime. The name probably will get a little adjustment. You know what I mean? Because I got some haters out there that are just trying to, get a little too personal. But it's all good. Haters love at the end of the day. So I take it all. I take the jealousy and the hate. It's all good. But yeah, that's on Instagram. Yeah. MR Hall of Fame 4984, and I'm the network manager for Knowledge and Relationships. Anything that you have, any questions you have as far as the stream, please ask me. I will definitely answer them. And we'll talk later.
What was that? Somebody said something? Oh, sorry.
That later.
All right. Master Stuck said, "Oh, you have an Insta? Okay," with a smiley face. All right, so somebody's going to get like a follow. And then remember, guys, feel free to subscribe to the Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. We're trying to reach 1,000 subs, so we're getting close. We're almost halfway, so please share it to your friends and family and all that. And just know that when we post stuff like on Facebook and all that, usually the streams get deleted, but they stays on the Knowledge and Relationships channel on YouTube. Also, what's special about the YouTube version, when you watch, you guys get to pretty much be able to click to join into a live stream. So take advantage of that and join in the YouTube version as well too. And DJ Ed says, "Brooklyn, baby, let's go." And no, she does not. Remember, keep it classy, Master Duck. Keep it cool.
Yes, keep it classy, Master Duck.
Yeah. So ain't none of that. But anyways, though, like, comment, subscribe, holla back, enjoy your day, have a good evening, and peace.
Thank you.
Out.
DJ.